Welcome.
That was my best deer in the headlights.
That was your best deer in the headlights? Let me double check that my camera. Say something, Jason?
Something, Jason?
Okay. It is. I just wanted to make sure because we took this camera to now.
Hello, nerds.
There you go. Welcome back. What's up, T. Schmid? Number one. Oh, yummy. Speaking of
that was the good
T.
one,
Schmid, too. Nova was great. Thank you for asking.
I love it right after the fart. And what do we do when we feel like this?
We feel shame.
We feel shame and relaxed all at the same time.
Shame and relax. What's up, everybody? Michael Holtz, Dark Mockery.
But I let it go.
Tadpole Jackson.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay. I did not expect you to go there. There's a lot going on. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm having fun.
Are you?
I hope everybody else is having fun.
I hope you are.
I'm having fun. Welcome back, chat.
Camera third. There we go. What's up, Michael Holtz? Hey, gang. Yep, we had a great time at Nova. Thank you for asking, T. Schmid.
Aye.
Lumberjack.
Can you stop letting it go? No.
We're not letting it go. We're letting it flow. Gross, man. Some of those get worse and worse.
That one needs a check of the pants.
Just when you think
that one literally
right.
needs a check of the pants.
Hey,
like 100% check of the pants on that one.
Big
like
Bob.
That one, if you get up from the table and do not
gross
check yourself,
that's just not good.
It's gonna be bad. Gonna be bad.
Big Bob, it's okay. Next time.
Muffin Truck, as promised, I'm saying hello. So great meeting you, Nova. Great meeting you as well.
Muffin Truck, I told you to speak up and you did.
There you go.
Welcome. I'm so glad to have seen all of you who could go. If not, that's okay. There's always our stream.
There's always the Tims.
There's always the...
there's always the Tims and the Big Bobs that stand us up. And so it's good when we have people from the community that live up to their word and show up and shake our hands and hang out.
Wow.
I'm laying it on thick for Tim.
Oh, Tim says, I ended
Feel
up
bad,
getting
Tim.
sick.
Feel bad, Tim.
Tim said he ended up getting sick.
Oh, no. I hope you're feeling better, dude. I got home and Jen was sick.
It's just something going around.
I hope everything was good, Bob. I know that you would rather go have fun. So hopefully it was either very fun or solving very big problems in your life that you needed to solve.
Cyber Spy says, I got a question for you all.
I don't know, from a person named Cyber Spy? I don't know if we're supposed to talk about it.
That's kind of a catch-22, Cyber Spy.
I don't
Love
think
the name.
you shouldn't lead with that name if you want real answers. But feel free to ask.
Where are the codes?
You're alone in this truck?
Oh. Wow. What's up, Sarcastic Grandpa? Blood Walrus. Yes, it was good to see everybody. Followed your painting scheme, and now I'm doing non-metallic metal for the first time on an army. Nice. Oh, let me put that back into perspective.
Wow.
Ooh. Look at that guy. So, just to bring you guys up to speed, Jason was working on this at the show so that he could show you kind of where he got his other guys back on track with where he's got this guy now. And that's my TED Talk for doing stuff offline.
Oh, it broke two things.
Whoa,
bastard. Look at that. It broke the...
Would it break?
The
iron
that's... on him. It broke. I'm going to have to break that off just so I can actually glue it back on. So I'm going to have to pop it off. God dang it. I'll do that later.
Actually, it's a clean break, which is nice.
It broke the backpack, or broke the thing off the other guy, too. Never works. You guys would have come back to AZ with the itis. The everything-itis.
The everything-itis. Cyber Spy.
I do always ask everybody to give me a big smooch.
At the show?
I like to test my immune system.
I don't think you kissed anybody at the show.
Right on the lips.
Okay, he failed his involved save.
Yeah, right. Well, no, I think that's passing.
Oh,
right?
my gosh.
I think that's passing his involved. It actually saved him, but it's not good another time.
All right, Cyber Spy's question.
Okay,
last week y'all told me to get a good bronze weathering effect with dirty metallic steel is to use bronze and petroleum brown. How much petroleum brown should I put over the bronze?
Thin it way down and then layer it up till you like it is kind of the way I like to look at those things. So if you thin it way down and treat it like a wash almost,
okay,
and then just kind of apply it in the recesses, I think you'll get a good look.
What would be the difference between using just regular petroleum brown and the wash?
The petroleum brown wash could work really well too. You could do that. They're a little bit of a different color. There's less warmth in the petroleum brown wash, but you could do that and put it on there and just use the wash, and that would do the same thing. So,
loves the conversations. I'm sure he does. Zazzle, what's up, Cannibal?
Looks like everybody needs to stop shaking tongues at these nerd conventions.
I don't like that.
What? Shaking tongues?
I just don't like that. There are two different versions. We have a petroleum brown, which is just the paint, which is the gloss, and then the actual wash. Hi, everybody. Hope Nova was well. Terrible because I wasn't there, and I want to feel less bad. Nova was horrible.
Oh, here it is. I had it out because we were using it. Petroleum brown wash.
Yep, and
this one you don't have to mix with any of the glazed wash medium or anything like that. You can just use it straight. You can thin it down with water still, but it works really well. It's not gloss either.
Mo, a huzzah to 108 months, Mo. Mo's magic, everybody.
Never heard of him.
108 months, Mo. That's incredible.
You're old.
I know we've said that every time you resub.
Very old.
So
we haven't even. I'm only 55.
Parker,
so how you've been here for 108 years is beyond me.
We are in the heart of Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Parker.
Hello. It's kind of more like the butt. It's kind of not the. Is it the middle? Oh, I guess it's kind of the middle.
We do Cyber Spy. We do own the amp paints. We make them.
They are Monument Hobbies ProAcryl.
Yeah, he did. Mo, you feel old? No. Cannibal, you said you're upset and I blame Mr. Sushi. I don't know what I did. What?
What
are you talking about? What's up, everybody?
Let's get Mo a puppy to make him feel young. He won't feel young. He'll just be bummed that he's not young. That's what puppies make you do. Running around, pooping on the floor.
I see. Cannibal, yes, that's my fault. They were very popular. The question is, why didn't you order them earlier?
Oh.
Whoa. Sorry, that felt bad. I take it back. Oopsie poopsie, did I say that? That's okay. You were giving me crap for my Thunder Warriors all weekend, so I got to dish it out a little bit. Speaking of crap.
His Thunder Warriors are way too big, actually.
No! I didn't expect that segue.
You led me right to that one. That was like the vine. It was hanging low, and right there, fruit. Fruit.
Oh my gosh.
I grabbed it by the fruit, chat.
Oh, Ballistic Bailey. Hey, Chris and Jason, thank you for that sub, by the way. Back for another month. In July, I won the Artist Guild monthly painting contest using ProAcryl. P.S. I changed my display name from Rugga Bugga Game. Should be easier to say now. That's me. Yes, thank you. Hey, thank you for that sub, and congratulations on that win. That's awesome.
You expect Slow Fuse to say hello, everyone, after that? I was welcome, everybody. But, yeah, right, he led me, gave in, he served that one up on a plate.
How does the Amp Petroleum Brown look? The wash, says Cyber Spy. How does it look?
What do I have that I can put it on? I must have something.
Well, he's tall and handsome.
I can put it on over white is the only problem. I have white models here.
Sure.
So I have a model that is white.
Ooh, I know that model.
This model is a troll.
That model has traveled far to get into your hands.
It's been in my hands for years now.
It seems like it. I'm just like the progression of that model.
This was your buddy's.
That was my buddy's.
Was it yours first?
No, but he took a lot of time to kit bash that model because he was super into it. And then the game changed and he's like, well, I can't handle this hobby.
I own them all now.
They're actually very cool.
I own all of his models, his trolls and his spider riding goblins.
Yes, we are AZ based, Parker. Yeah, I'm literally about to buy first.
Phoenix.
Oh, nice. Parker, where are you from? He said, I'm literally about to buy my first ProAcryl colors today, although from a more local game store that's closer to my work. Nice. That's crazy. Small world vibes. Yes. So Parker, are you from Arizona? I'm assuming so. Oh, yeah. There's that petroleum brown wash.
This is no thinning. This is literally just out of the bottle.
Out of the bottle.
Out of the bottle over white. So you get the full intensity of the color here, but you can see how it's going to sit. That's petroleum brown. So it has a neat kind of, what would you call it, like a jaundiced kind of a yellowy color to it at the end of the day. It's really nice.
What's up, Ghoul Studio? It was good to see you this weekend. Parker saying, I don't have the budget for a complete set yet. Wanted to buy a line of blues and a line of purples with black and white. Any recommendations on which ones to start with when it comes to ProAcryl?
If you're buying blues, it really all depends on what you're painting. Dark blue is fantastic color, right? So never a slouch to start with dark blue. Dark gray blues, the slate gray and the amp line is really good. The navy blue, the dark navy blue and the amp line is really good. Mm-hmm. Purples, again, dark purple, royal purple.
He's going to just rattle off every purple.
Dark plum.
If you haven't already gotten the shtick.
Yeah, I mean, when you're there at the store looking at the bottles, assuming you're going into the store, just look at the range and pick which ones you want to work with. Dark purple is a staple on almost everything I do. Payne's Gray for your dark blues is fantastic. I use it on just about. It's the shadow color on all of these guys, and also the base that I start mixing with white blue for all of the non-metallic steel that you see on the shoulder plates too. So.
Payne's Gray is like a staple for me.
Yeah, it's just too easy to pull off, so I agree.
Cannibal says, any idea when the Expert Acrylics all-in bundle will be back in stock?
Hopefully this week or next. That guy messed.
Cyberspy says, I'm using the petroleum brown on the Necron crowns or shoulder pads. Okay, cool. That'll definitely take that bronze down for sure. Yes, Tadpole Jackson, we do still have our build your own paint bundle. Essentially, you can buy any 8 paints, right? You can buy any 8 paints and get a discount.
Yep, that includes tubes and expert acrylics and the regular bottles.
Yep.
So eats just about everything.
That's what you could get 8 bottles of green camo green. Just do it.
I mean, sure.
You could, right?
You could do whatever you want, yes. We have had that forever.
We have.
Some of our competition think they're being slick by doing it.
Wink, wink.
That's been a day one thing from us, and it will exist forever. Also with brushes, you can do any 4 brushes as singles, and you get the set price on your brushes, too. And it happens automatically on the site. Just when your cart gets to 8 paints and or 4 brushes, then you'll get the discount. Very simple.
You would like 8 bottles of Wizard's Butt? No. I don't know.
Has to be something that's actually for sale.
Sugar Rush is asking when the framables and the primers are going to come out.
Framables later in September. And the primers very soon, I hope.
Yeah. Isn't Chris for sale? I am not for sale.
What? I mean,
oh no.
Send me a PM.
What? No. Oh. Lumberjack says, Lima Hobbies tried that water effect pour again this weekend with plastic card and hot glue. Still got leaks. I need to remember to put water through first to make sure I got a seal. I mean, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, not great. It's not the fun thing to do, dude. I'm just gonna lay it out for you. I hate it. That's why you don't see me do very many water effects in cork. It feels like the right thing to do, and it just causes so much problem sometimes.
We'll start the bid for Chris at $400.
Wow, seems
$400
seems very high.
Whoa, man! Oh, I don't even got a sound for that. There you go.
I'll take that in a heartbeat.
$400. Oh,
dude, just think of all we could do with $400. Get Gabe on here. He'd probably agree with me.
How much is Gabe worth? Couple. Gabe is worth $399, surprisingly. $400 sounds like a ripoff. T. Schmid, cutting deep early.
Wow. A ripoff for us or for you?
I know. Yes. What do you? Maroon Lion says, "What do you use for varnishes for models?" ?
So we make a matte and gloss varnish. And so that's what I typically use when doing varnishes in between steps. So if I need to find a way to dull the color down while I'm painting, then the matte varnish is great. Gloss varnish to spot varnish things that you might do, whether it be, you know, wetness for eyes and such, or other details, water effects, things like that. And then if you want to use it at the end of the model, using the matte varnish works great. We also make a spray matte varnish that is an acetone-based solvent, which will make it a little bit stronger if you're looking to protect your models. In general, airbrush varnishes won't act very good as a protector for your model at the end, so just be careful there. Think of the airbrush varnishes as a medium of sorts.
SC Memphis says, just got into miniature painting and got my first ProAcryl paints in last week. First time chat. Welcome in, and that's awesome. Still working on control and my brush strokes. Long way to go, but love your all's tutorials.
Fantastic.
I'm glad
welcome to our
that.
Wonderful hobby, first and foremost.
That's
and
a big
second,
deal.
Welcome to our wonderful ProAcryl family, too.
That's awesome to hear.
Love to see you here.
What did you end up getting as your first model? I'm totally curious.
Yeah, right.
There's so many, I mean, heck, there's so many things you could get into. So I'm always curious. The Amazing Saw says, Monument Hobbies, can I use Noosh to replace all my washes and just use it to shade all of my recesses?
We always make sure that you understand it's a subtractive wash, right? So you put it on in bulk and then you take it off. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're willing to put in the work to do that on all your models, the answer would be yes. It would do a great job. It won't perform the exact same action as an additive wash, which is what we consistently call a regular wash, and that, you know, those will drip into the low spots and sit in crevices and things like that by gravity, whereas the Noosh sits into those spots and stays wherever you can't wipe it out from. So in some cases, Noosh works better than a regular wash for that, because you'll take the Noosh off of the high spots. You know, if you put a wash on your model, you might see like a dark spot on the top of the head if it has a low spot there, or the shoulder pad. It'll stay in places where you don't necessarily want a shadow.
Ah, shadow.
Those damn shadows. You know, so you got to be careful with that. But yeah, I would not use it to replace washes. They are two different things.
Yeah. You say it's a subtractive medium?
Subtractive medium, yes.
Yeah, okay. It's D-Fresh. What is this new brush you're holding? Well...
Oh, some people pay attention, don't they? I was wondering how long it would take. How long has it been? Was that 10 minutes? Did I make it 10 minutes?
Did you make it? 18 minutes, technically.
18? I don't know that I started painting right away. I was pressing the fart button.
You were.
And the psychologist guy. So these, my friends, are the very first U.S.-made sables.
Wait a second. Can you say that one more time?
Which part?
The thing you just said.
These, my friends... Were you looking for that? Were you hunting for me calling them my friend?
Keep going.
These are the first U.S.-made sables. I took them to Nova. I was painting with them at Nova, making sure they pass muster, and they're fan-freaking-tastic. So
that's cool.
We have decided that on all of the U.S.-based brushes, we're going to only dip half of the handle. So we'll do the raw wood, just primed and varnished. And then we will color dip the bottom section and then run them like that. So, huzzah. Yeah. So nice gloss. They will have print on them. We're waiting to get, because we were intentionally going to just do white print, which is what all of our other brushes have. But then when we decided to do the split coloring, now we're going to do the lettering on the brush in the same color as the handle, so it'll have the deep red. We had to go with a deeper red to do this because the bright red wouldn't show up on the handle.
A lot of questions coming in, but Jason, can you explain the process of how, because you said it's the first U.S.-made sable. Can you just give us a little background on like the logistics behind that?
Yeah, so it's the same. It's the same German-made brush head. Mm-hmm. So the way that the filament tufts and everything are made are exactly the same as the other brushes. There's no difference at all. So quality-wise, for what you use the brush for, fantastic. Exactly the same as you've been used to from us for years. What we do here is all of the finish work from a raw wood dowel to get the handle done. And then we prime and dip multiple times through all of the lacquer colors and the varnish, and then we crimp the head on. So the final crimping of the brush head to the brush, and then the print of the handle when we do that. These obviously aren't printed; they're just raw.
Yeah,
and that's it. So we do all of the hard work, actually. Believe it or not, that's all the time-consuming stuff.
Stan says, "First time chat. What's up, Stan? Mainly Jason. Have you ever considered creating sets of or bundles based on your tutorials?"
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we've been talking about this a lot, so you'll see a lot of really cool stuff coming from us in the next months.
Can't believe you're...
Wirehead says, I started painting minis in 1979 and recently come back to painting minis after a 10-year hiatus. Welcome back.
That's huge.
That's awesome. Tried a few ProAcryl paints at a friend's place and immediately bought a set. That's even better. Thank you. That's awesome. Thanks for giving us a try. And welcome back to the hobby. It's great. We've had a real big slew of people coming back to the hobby recently. I love it. I love hearing it. Can't believe you're dipping stuff. Yeah, I know we're lazy. We didn't want to hand paint these.
What?
We're
not hand painting these?
No.
Oh. Color question from Matt. Jason, painting Death Guard using ProAcryl yellow-green as mid-tone over dark yellow-green. Should I use a dark purple as the shadow base?
Yellow-green as a mid-tone over dark yellow-green with dark purple as a base would look really cool. Mm-hmm. Payne's gray, dark purple. Any of the usual suspects would work great there. Purple and green work great together, especially in that desaturated kind of yellow-green version that you're talking about. I think it would look great.
Avian says, when doing a grayscale to represent black, if it is looking flat, how should I approach it to get to pop? Reintroduce the purple into the shadows, add a midtone, or apply white at the apex highlight?
So again, you get into that conversation with black is when you say it's looking flat, it's generally you don't have the right amount of contrast happening. And so you have to determine, do you want to go darker to get your contrast or brighter? Remembering that the brighter you go, the more gray. Can you pop in?
Yeah.
The more gray it's going to look, the more brightness that you give it. So that's always a risk that you take there. Mm-hmm. But you can do that. Usually I find, like glazing more darkness into the shadows and doing that with a blue or a purple can work great, obviously.
Mo says, was there anything that really stood out to you guys at the con?
Lots of fantastic work.
Oh
I think the biggest thing for me that I mentioned at the awards ceremony was just the fact that so many people were standing at the cases this year and just really good conversation about the inspiration they were getting from looking at all the models. Some really fantastic work. Good stuff all around. That was my big takeaway.
Yeah. Plus, you guys crushed it with the texture trainers this year.
Heck yeah.
That was so cool.
A local won gold in the Masters.
Mm-hmm. It was very, very cool to see all of those. Ballistic Bailey says, will the new brushes also be available in the EU? I like the design.
No. The EU will only have the German brushes. So the standard ones, unfortunately. What we're doing is we are building here to kind of support our German manufacturing, so that we can, do the expansion, keep brushes in stock in the EU on a regular basis. But it means that the brushes here will just be for the US. Now, that's not meant to be any type of exclusivity thing. They're the same brushes. We just need to keep them apart because in the US we will have both. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yep.
We can't make enough here to just cover our bases with our own production. We have to rely on Germany to make some finished brushes as well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to supplement the rest of North American supply with our own production is the case. So,
Lumberjack said, did you see the Crown Ministries booth? I love those 2 sculpts they just put out, the Indian girl with the raccoon and the vampire version.
Yeah, they were with Lucas Zaba.
Yeah.
In the Zaba booth. I saw her at Contrast. It didn't inspire me to want to paint it. I love the sculpt. It looks really great. The fact that they pulled that face with those vampire teeth in a single mold is amazing. So the technology they did to get that sculpt pulled that way is great. I love it. It just didn't really inspire me. It wasn't something that I wanted to paint. But yeah, it's great. And yeah, they were there. Like I said, they shared the booth with Lucas.
Danger, howdy y'all. Thanks for streaming for you guys. We love it. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for hopping in. Raymer Play says, FOMO on the brushes too now, for shame. You know the Germans make good stuff too. Yes.
I mean, the brush part that you would actually get, the reason for having the US ones would be for the glossed wood handle. We're doing all that here. We use the exact same varnish that we do in Germany, exact same handles we do in Germany. They are the same. Our lacquer manufacturer, it's the first time they've shipped over to the States. So we've got some really neat firsts embedded in the brushes over here, not least of which is the fact that our partners in Germany entrusted in us the ability to teach us how to do this stuff, which is generally held pretty close to the vest.
It's pretty cool. Twisty Farmer says, if I wanted to make a wash from Camp Green, I would just use glaze and wash to lower opacity, then thin with water, right?
Correct. Yep, 100%. Very simple. I say simple.
And you're using white blue right now, correct?
Just
Jason?
straight white blue, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, where we left the bulk of these guys was with the all the other mix stuff done.
Ballistic Bailey says, the U.S. brush looks classy. Definitely FOMO.
There's a world where we could probably make some and send like a random batch over there to do, like either giveaways on the EU part of the stream when we get that run in. I would hate to sell them and then not be able to do it all the time is the problem. But we might have something special for like stream viewers and stuff like that where we could make something happen. I'm not saying no. It's just not. It won't be a regular occurrence. Let's put it that way. It doesn't make sense because I have to ship all the brush heads here, do all the work, and then ship them back. So with tariffs and everything, it doesn't make a lot of sense since the brushes are built right there in Germany.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little harder for you to sell me on that idea, but we'll talk. We'll see. I like doing fun stuff.
Avian says, okay, I think Slow Fuse will dislike this question.
Womp womp.
Will he weather the jump packs?
Way to set yourself up.
Seriously. Avian, he doesn't hate any questions.
Except this one.
Are you going to weather those jump packs?
Weather them?
Weather them. I hardly know them.
What do you mean by weathering them? Like giving them like exhaust soot and stuff like that?
Ooh.
Somebody asked earlier, and I forgot to mention, I think Chris passed over it, was asking about how I did the glow on the jump pack. There was a question earlier.
I'll double back. I didn't see something like that. How did you do that glow, Jason?
So the glow is done by just painting the inside of the jump pack in white.
Oh, you were talking about
sky
blue.
And then purple transparent, right? Doing the purple transparent on the inside and then going back with white transparent and brightening it up again and then blue transparent really thin down over the top of that. So white, purple transparent, and mostly in the recesses is where I was looking to get the purple, right? Then white on the raised surfaces again, and then blue transparent over all of that, and then white to trim it out, or white blue to trim out the edges and stuff to give that final kind of glow just as an edge highlight. It's a really quick way to do it that just kind of gave me it just got turned off, but has like your pilot light kind of feel to it. Because the models are red, I like doing the blue.
Meticulous Chaos asks, how would you quickly paint metallic cold trim on Black Legion?
Regular metallics, quickly. We did a workup that is magnesium followed by rich gold that I think is spectacular. And I think it would work great on black armor like that. So if Chris can point you in that direction, I think that would give you a lot of mileage.
Which one? The
magnesium into rich gold.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And then here's a quick question before I check that out. Panic Bomb was asking, how was our Nova experience?
Great. Nova's always fantastic. Great show.
Yes, Agrippa, I do listen. I got my monument hat thoroughly cleaned. I actually wore this hat way back in the day before I worked here on set. And I found this as I was cleaning up, so I not had it deep cleaned. I deep cleaned it because I would wear this on the golf course, and it was sweated out.
It was fairly nasty.
But I fixed it, so there you go, Agrippa. See, I took your note. I took your notes. Revelist says, do PA transparent paints act like Citadel contrast paints?
No. They can. They do not right out of the bottle. The transparent paints are simply paints that you can see through more when you start. They are lower viscosity, but they are not inherently washes. They are able to be turned into speed paints with our glazed wash medium and the like, but they are not like that right out of the bottle. They're not washes. They're just paints. You paint them on, and they stay exactly where you put them. They're great. Super flexible way to paint, and you can add them to anything. You can mix them with metallics to get any color metallic you might want. Mm-hmm. You name it. They're tremendous paints because of their flexibility. They're basically the same thing. Now that we have the expert acrylics, they're basically the same thing as the expert acrylics, just already turned into liquid form because they're single pigment. So the closest thing I can tell you is that they're like inks.
Yeah. Chanky says, what glow would you do for ultra blue armor?
You mean like for the jetpack if these were Ultramarines?
Yeah.
Is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
Boy, great question. I think...
Could you do the same
either
color?
An orange or a green could be cool. The green I typically think of as more of like a baleful hellfire glow, so I don't know that green makes sense, although you can do green plasma guns. But orange and blue work really well together. You could do some sort of a magenta red as well. Red and orange, like real fire color, would work really well on blue. Obviously not blue. I think it would be overkill. So I think I would go for like a orangey, like a reddish orange would probably be your best bet.
Bud's asking, do you have any videos on smoke?
Bud, I'm sorry I missed you, by the way. Steven from Atlantis Games said that you came by and he shot me your phone number, and I apologize. He said that was on Sunday. And Sunday with the awards banquet and everything just took too long. So I really, really hated when he gave me that message. Yeah. I was like, Bud, no.
Bud, I didn't get to see you. Oh, I'm sorry.
But smoke is a tough one because when you think about how smoke is highlighted, it highlights from inside itself, right? And it's because normally when we're talking about smoke on a model, there's some sort of a flame that it's emanating from. And that's the toughest part, is that you have to paint your bright colors first and your dark colors where your highlights would normally go on smoke, right? Mm-hmm. Because smoke is going to be the darkest where it's the thickest, and that's usually at its highest point, if that makes sense.
Cyberspy said, hey, I meant to ask what a good Necron orange and white energy paint style for blades and weapons. Orange and white energy paint style. Like power weapon orange?
Yeah, probably.
What do you think?
Again, I think that, the orange and yellow are going to work great, and using either the transparency or even the fluorescence in that case works great. But remember that your biggest component to doing any of that is white, pure white, whether it be the bold titanium white or transparent white, or a combo of both. What you're really trying to do is create a backdrop of brightness to dump your color on that gives it the glow, and then move from that glow to redoing some white, because, if I paint the whole area white, like on this jetpack, If I paint the whole area white and then I put transparent purple, the whole thing becomes purple. Well, I don't want the whole thing purple, just to recess it. So then I have to do white to cover up the areas where the purple got, like on the flat and in the hole. Do white again. So you do white, a color. So in your case, white, then orange, right? Then white as a highlight, kind of think of it that way. And then the next color, which could be a mix of orange and yellow transparent, or just yellow, and put that over the top of it. And then a little bit more white to highlight it up, and then maybe just a pure yellow if you mix the two. So you're constantly teeter-tottering between white to highlight the base, and then the color you want to go over it. And that's how you get that glow. If you watch people like El Miniaturista that does a lot of OSL and things like that, that's a typical solution for how we do OSL. That works really, really well.
Weird's asking, which color transition do you recommend for a champagne-toned titanium metallic finish? Champagne-toned.
Champagne-toned metallic
Which color transition do you recommend for a champagne-toned titanium metallic finish? That's a mouthful.
Champagne-toned titanium
Are you talking, is this
finish.
like
Well, titanium is just dull gray. It's like titanium tends to feel a lot like unpolished aluminum, right? It doesn't have a very silvery feel except along the edges. And it has more gray content even when it is polished than, say, stainless steel or silver. So just keeping that more gray is the first. The champagne tone is a little bit weird to me because with champagne, you're talking about like an orangish yellow kind of a feel, I want to say, or like a brownish yellow kind of a feel probably. You know, something like our magnesium underneath it would work really well. So if you did like if you're doing it in metallics or in non-metallics?
I would assume this would be metallics. I don't think there's no preference, or I'm going back to it.
Magnesium is a great, if you're doing metallics, magnesium is the best start for things like this because it has both a gray or white metal component and a yellow or gold metal component. So it rides that fine line in between. So it will make a silver look grayer and move it towards a little bit of that yellowishness in the shadows, which I think you could like. And then the problem is finding the right kind of filter to place over it to get what you believe is champagne color, right? Because champagne is a very clear, what I would call brownish yellow. And so you'd want to wash. So you could use, like, I wouldn't use just our brown wash. You could use something like the petroleum brown wash, then way down and try that. That would probably get you there because it is kind of a yellowish brown. So that could be really cool. Oh, if you're doing non-metallic metal, then, you know, working from the realm of like dark golden brown as your base is really nice. It has kind of a more greenish gold tint to it for the shadow color. And then, you know, kind of working into that, into your grays, you know, your mid-tone like neutral grays or warm grays to take care of the titanium bit. And then again, you're just going to want to find a filter color that might again be that dark, golden brown that you could then weigh down and glaze it in between layers to keep your brownish golden feel of the champagne color going. I would do it with filters rather than trying to mix your colors, but you might find that you could mix your colors and get it that way too. I have a figure that is mostly skin that I'm going to paint with bright pale green as a mid-tone, going up to white blue as the most pale parts. What would you recommend as a greenish color for the deepest shadows? Camo green? Probably something that didn't have a whole lot of blue to it, but you could go, you know, to something more blue-green if you wanted. But I think camo green would be a good place for you to start, like dark camo green. I don't think I'd go black green. I think it'd be too dark. But dark camo green is still a good kind of mid-tone. When you're going to something super pale, you don't necessarily need as dark of a shadow to still pull off contrast. And you can wind up hurting yourself if you use too dark of a shadow, because then you have to work 18 layers to get to where your bright color, faded skin, or pale skin looks good too.
Wad says, I hate my life, but I'm glad to see your faces. Hi, friends. Wad, what are you talking about? We're here for you. The new primer's coming out. What are those colors?
Dark purple, red oxide, and taupe.
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 Taupe, which is a good base for bone. But it is not the same color as bone. And it is actually taupe. So, there you go. I forgot to show them. I painted bubbles.
You did paint bubbles.
I painted a bajillion bubbles on our frameable.
Oh, I'm going to zoom out real quick. Oh. You know what's going to be fun about those framables, too? That they'll...
Painting them?
That's right. That's it. That's all I had to say.
There you go. Ta-da.
All of it. Plus, they look great on camera, which is what I was also
Cyber Spy, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, Cyber Spy. Yes. I am Robert TV. The purple is going to be great. And are you going to, okay, well, I don't want to preference this because I would have to do this priming. Are you going to prime everything going forward in the dark purple?
No.
For yourself, would you?
No, there's still times where I don't do dark purple.
Is there?
Yeah, Payne's gray.
Well, I guess that's
I wouldn't have primed these guys in purple.
But if you had them, if you had the primer, would you?
No.
You don't think so?
Black. Remember that dark purple still doesn't give you quite as dark of a shadow as black will. So there's times where you're going to need to have black and then do the dark purple over the black. Having the dark purple, I think, helps a lot for things like skin tone.
That's true.
Right? So if you have skin tone and you want to start with dark purple, it gives you a suitably enough dark shadow for skin that looks really good. Okay. But for things like armor and stuff, I probably start with black and then do the purple primer over the black as the next stage.
Over the black, okay.
Yeah, thin it down and put it over the black because you still are going to have some instances where you want to drive your shadow to a near black.
Rather than just having it all purple.
Yeah, I mean, think about doing like stormtroopers. Even if you wanted purple under your white, you'd still want black as your darkest shadow.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Rattlecan Monument, for each of you, what was the coolest thing you saw at Nova?
This, my bubbles. Zoom in. Why'd you zoom out? I was trying to focus on look at my bubbles.
Well, I wanted to show them the whole thing.
My bubbles.
Behold,
I spent an entire day painting bubbles, I think.
It's
bubbles.
Pretty cool.
What do you prefer to paint, sci-fi or fantasy? Bubbles is not the answer. That's a great question. I feel like I feel like the models that interest me more tend to be fantasy models because there tends to be more to get creative with in the fantasy realm than sci-fi. That might sound weird. Obviously, when you move into like sci-fi creatures, monsters, aliens, then you can get the fantasy part in. Otherwise, it's just dudes in armor with guns. And so Space Marines become boring after a time because they're dudes in armor with guns. And one is just like the next. So they're fun to paint. They get boring very quickly. Whereas in fantasy, I feel like even if you're painting an army, the archers might be completely different looking than the guys with swords, right? Because your archers might have a lot of leather and light armor, and your sword guys might have heavy plate armor or something. So the amount of difference in the way you paint them and the colors you use can be a lot different. So even in the tedium of army painting, I think fantasy is a lot more fun. I tend to not really get inspired by fantasy armies very often, though. So I guess you'd say it's 50-50. I thought I'd heard there was a video for this, but I can't find it. Is there something out there that shows how to prepare new monument domed dry brushes for use? You found a set at your FLGS. You take them out of the package and use them.
Shloop, shloop, shloop. You
don't have to do anything to them. They don't even come starched. They're ready to go. You might want to get them wet and then dry them out, but you don't have to do anything special to them. Just use them.
Here's a question from Mo. Couple questions. Want to read those aloud, Jason?
Can we see some of the new Adrian Smith stuff? No. Also, can we get that hot pink plaid tutorial? No. Are we there yet? Also, no. How about that eclectic salmon? Also, no. Are the framables ready yet? No.
And gray bubbles.
Thanks. No, thanks. There we go. Bloop, bloop.
Finally, proof that Jason can be bubbly.
Hey.
Jason's a bubbly character, right? Like, you're bubbly.
I'm very dour and serious most of the time.
I would say
every now and then.
All right. No, actually,
I break out of my shell.
This is scientific proof, in fact. You are 50-50. And I say that as
I feel like that tracks.
You are 50-50.
I feel like that tracks.
It's not good. It's not
bad.
bad.
One of my goals when talking to people in that kind of business therapy language is that I really strive to be about 50-50.
50-50. You have to be.
You have to be. I feel like I balance the seriousness with the absolute psychotic humor.
I would say that's astute.
If you'd have been there with us at Nova on dinner on maybe Saturday.
It was not when you got in.
Okay, hear me out, chat.
No. This is a serious business painting stream.
Hear me out, chat.
No.
I have a plan.
No, 1 second. Now you have a plan because I'm recording this.
Hear me out. Oh my gosh. So a lot of people say, if you weren't doing Monument Hobbies, what would you be doing? And I have found that plan. I know now what I would be doing. And I'm looking to maybe crowdfund an idea that I have, and I need you all to gather in.
You're going to crowdfund this Kickstarter?
Gather in, chat.
Go
I need
fund
you to gather in close around the speakers and the monitor. I need this to feel as intimate as possible. I'm going to pitch you something. I need you to clear your mind. Shake it off.
Oh, no. You guys, we'll get to these. This is a serious business proposition for you.
Clear your mind. I need you to be as open as possible. So wash out all the nonsense of the day, right? Everything that's going on in your life, and just think towards the future, how bright it could be if you believe. Okay?
No, Jetastic says no.
Picture this. Picture this.
Oh my gosh. I can't do this right now.
Slick Willy's Feta Chili. It's a restaurant. It is one type of dish and one type of dish only for your main course. Fettuccine with various types of chili from around the world on it. Okay? So you can have all these types of chili. So the menu is going to be long, but it's all feta chili.
I can't do this, man. Okay? I'm trying to.
Now, that's going to get your mind racing, because all of a sudden, all the glorious foods, all the amazing places you may have traveled in the world, all just came flooding in. So I want you to bear with me. I need you to back up a little bit. I need you to take your enthusiasm, keep it here, right here, okay? Because I'm not done yet. Slick Willy's Feta Chili also has a dessert menu. 2 items.
Okay.
Cheesecake steak and cheesesteak cake.
What's the difference?
Exactly. They have to try both to figure it out.
Wow.
Right? So we're going to sell a lot. So we're going to need to make sure we stock up on the raw components for both cheesesteak cake and cheesecake steak and feta chili. There you go.
There's a lot. We're gonna get to these questions, but here we're gonna. I swear we're gonna get to these real questions. Sounds like a great sister restaurant for chicken. What? Chicken strippers?
Were you not around for chicken strippers?
No.
Okay, yeah.
That is diabolical.
That was when I was making fun of the place across the street that's a kids menu. I was like, we just need to call it chicken strippers. It's like the future of Hooters.
Now,
it's chicken strippers.
Good question. Can I get feta cheese on that?
One of them is feta chili with feta.
I can see this being working as a food truck. We could do that.
Feta chili with feta.
I'm pretty sure cheesecake steak is a cheesecake in the shape of a steak, and cheese steak cake is a cake with cheese steak in it.
Gotta try them.
Well.
well.
What is it?
Well.
Yes, you guys.
What? It's a good thing he can paint. What?
Wow. 1 second.
I need you to believe.
Caps. That's
panic bomb.
bold.
Panic bomb.
I mean, he's just like
panic bomb. I knew I had something from the beginning. The people around me don't seem to get it.
It's not that we don't get it.
Jen says the plan has a lot of holes, and I told her that's exactly why it'll work.
I love that this whole thing came up with a question I had about some random thing, and then it's like,
all Chris's fault.
How do we get to the chili part? Can we get the Can we get the texture trainers on the menu items? We could.
Sure. What does that even mean?
You can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
My final question is, who's Slick Willy? You are, Flapjack. Congratulations. You are the Slick Willy. What's up, Gosu? Yes, it was good to see you at Nova, too.
What's going on,
all right,
Gosu?
I'm going to go back to some of these real questions. Here it is. No. Oh, maybe there isn't any real questions. Since we're talking about it. Okay, here we go. Bear Paw Miniatures. Since we're all talking about it, how about a paint scheme for the burgundy robes on 1,000 Sun Sorcerers? What would you do for a
burgundy? Is great with dark purple as a start. It's one of those
robes?
colors because you now are leaning into the red, but not true saturated reds like Pyro Red. So I think the burgundy loves having a dark purple background. And then dark purple, dark plum, or dark burgundy, and you're kind of done. You take and highlight burgundy with one of the flesh tones. Beige red works really well mixed in with burgundy to give you a highlight that keeps it desaturated for cloth. Can work really well. So I think you're off and rocking at that point.
Deep Sea Ben is a great shadow on Burgundy. Yes, it is a great
Panic Bomb. Panic Bomb, you get me. You get me. Right? Panic Bomb says, you know what else is full of holes? Pretzels, and pretzels rock. So what's wrong with this plan?
And
nothing.
Also this
And for
plot.
all you naysayers that say it's a good thing I started a hobby company first, well, you just have to wait.
Okay. To his credit.
Slick Willy's Feta Chili.
To his credit, yes. There is a percentage chance that chili, a good form of chili in winters at Arizona, would be a good idea as a food truck outside our building.
Agrippa Deep Sea Ben can also be really good. That greenishness can work really well with a burgundy, but it is going to give it a totally different look than the purple. So if you wanted it to be what I would call clean and more royal, the purple. If you want it to have a little bit more of a weathered look, then the Deep Sea Ben or anything leaning in the green space would be really good. Yeah. Your heart is full of holes. Wad, I need to know you're doing all right, buddy.
Wad, hey, we're here for you.
You need an intervention? We can do it. Hey.
What do you think that means?
The intervention part or the holes in my heart?
I don't know. But I think that was a very astute question.
How do we know he didn't already try this? Great question, Tadpole Jackson. I am now looking at this at a different light as he found investors beforehand, totally eliminated all those people from his world, and now that there's new people in his world, he's repitching this idea.
Hey, when we get the sign made, don't ask questions of why it's Slick Willy's Feta Chili, and down at the bottom it says Part 2. Don't ask.
I can't even do this.
Don't even ask.
That's so...
Yeah, I was going to say, Muad'Dib, it's like, be honest, many of you have pledged to much worse ideas on crowdfunding than this one.
I 100% agree with that.
I think literally that's going to be my whole Kickstarter campaign is you've given money to worse. That's it. That's all it is. One line. Slick Willy's Feta Chili, you've given money to worse. I'll have the pitch in there, but at the bottom, the big caps thing is you've given money to worse. Fork it over. Fork it over is going to be the thing, and it's going to have a fork with fettuccine, and on the fettuccine is written, fork it over.
Take my money.
See, they're coming around. They're coming around one by one.
I don't think anybody was coming around. I think they were already here. They just needed their investing dollars.
I'm going to go home tonight, and Jen's going to go, I've been thinking.
I would like to see a full business plan on Slick Willy's Feta Fettuccine pretty soon. Why do you got to do this to me? I'm starving now.
I'm starving
Hey, speaking of starving.
I got you. Welcome, chat.
It's been a long time.
I need to get some of my
we are
cleverly disguised vodka in a bottle.
He's not drinking vodka, just to be very clear to the YouTube lords. That's water, no name brand.
Kirkland.
No free pub.
Costco.
Costco. We don't have sponsors yet.
Costco.
I can't. Blood Walrus.
Pop me in.
Chris, how much paint?
It's a serious painting stream, Christopher.
How much paint has Jason eaten today? 0.
I had a burger.
We don't do these things. He did have lunch. Chat, now I'm saying that on the other side of this. Jason had lunch.
That's the problem.
Wow. This is how it feels.
Usually it's Chris, but this is how it feels, Chris.
Black Wolf says, do I get to be a silent partner since I've been here forever? Why would you be silent? Speak up.
Hey. You have to believe, which in this case means you got to open up the wallet. I'm thinking we need probably $18.6 million.
No, I said 10,000 to that one gal that you pitched it to
that was
randomly.
Just one person.
I know, but what if we had many?
That's what I'm saying. I told the total.
Okay, there's something with GoFundMe. This was a while ago, or they had like GoFund My Salad or something, and it got tremendous amounts of money. So
no, the guy did potato salad.
Yes, that's what it was.
For his potato salad recipe, and he made tens of thousands of dollars.
I think he made more than that.
He turned it into like a big recipe thing. He did right by his people. If I'm thinking of the same guy.
I think so, but there was a different one where it was a joke account who did something like GoFund something that was silly. And people do fund that stuff. So, Ted Onions, great question. I tried to follow your short tutorial on painting Caucasian skin tones. However, when I tried, I ended up with stark layer change lines. They don't seem to be blend in like yours. What am I doing wrong?
Which tutorial?
Yeah, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about...
Was I underpainting or just layering up skin tones?
Yeah. Ted Onions, were you talking about the face one, the glazing the face, or are you talking about our past VODs with the Surfer Girl? Just layering from dark. Oh, layering from dark. Okay, yes, the face one.
So there's another video that we did that showed you just layering. So let's do it real quick. I think this might help. So I'm just going to start dark flesh, shadow flesh, tan flesh, just to keep it easy. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
What are you doing?
Start dark flesh, shadow flesh, tan flesh, and I'm just going to show you how to do the layer. You know, when I do the lines and how you cover to get your smooth transitions.
Yep.
Right. So I'm just going to paint on my hand. But this is it goes back to like my layering video that we did that showed you how I layer everything on the back of the Familiar's wing on the Crone. If you remember this, if you've not seen this, maybe Chris can help us out and link some of these.
Yep.
There's also a short that showed me doing the lines. Have you done that one yet? Did that one get posted?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let me grab this. Here is the blending one that he was just talking about. And then he did lines way back in the day.
So, I say way back in the day. Not lines, not the pull a straight line one, but the one that just shows the layering. So, the key is that you're going to paint... I'll try to do this in like the shape of a head.
Yeah.
Right, so that you can kind of see. We'll just paint the whole thing, right? And then we have a jawline and whatever else happens down here. Right. And so one of the biggest things is that before, if you can pop the palette up, this will help, right? So starting with your base layer can be on its own. You don't have to mix it with anything. But your next color should be, in this case, I've got dark flesh, shadow flesh. And if I pull them over here 50-50, right, my next color should be the 50-50 blend there. So I have one color, second color here, third color is my midtone in the shadow flesh. Fourth color becomes shadow flesh, and in this case, tan flesh mixed 50-50, right? So that's my fourth color. I'm doing Roman numerals for some reason. And then over here, my fifth color is just tan flesh. So 3 colors become 5, right? Dark flesh, mix, shadow flesh, mix, tan flesh. Get used to painting this way. 2 colors become 3. 3 colors become 5, right? 4 colors become 7, right? So you're constantly getting more work out of your colors if what you do is between each color blend 50-50. Just remember 50-50, that's all you need, right? You don't have to do anything fancy. So then I come down here and I grab like some of this 50-50 color, and then I would come over here, right? And I would start with just putting that into wherever my highlights wanted to be, right? I didn't get much paint there. Right, so I would then start layering that into my highlight areas. Then once that was done, then you go just to the straight. This is going to be hard because I got to wipe it off down here, right? And then as you go in and start doing the next color, which is the shadow flesh, I have that dark flesh mix and then shadow flesh, right? That stops being like a candy corn kind of a blend. I'm not using anything special going on here, right? And do top of the nose, cheeks, whatever. Laugh line, whatever. Top of the mouth, maybe bottom of the lip, whatever. Okay. Then when you go to the next one, which is the shadow flesh and the tan flesh pulled together. Again, when you come in and you blend it, you stop getting quite so many bold lines until you want them. Maybe the chin. Right. And then the tan flesh by itself. Right. And that highlight can do whatever you need to do. Right. Right. Something like that.
Huh.
Okay. So now you lose a lot of those layer lines in between just by making sure that I turn my 3 colors into 5 or my 2 colors into 3 or however you wanted to do it. And of course, this is pretty dark. You could move your darkness and brightness. I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to show you how you can eliminate a lot of the color banding. Now, when I show you how I apply it to the model, the easy way that I've taught people is that my base layer covers everything, okay?
Huh. Yeah.
Then my mix of my base layer and my next color, my 50-50 mix, right, covers about, let's say, 75% of that. Okay?
Yeah.
So think of this as I'm going to paint these colors over the top of one another, but I'm going to leave them delineated here so you can see how much I leave of each color. Okay? Then when I go to the shadow flesh by itself, right, I paint over about 75% of that previous color. This is moving towards my highlights, painting from dark to bright, right? Oh, and then my shadow flesh and my tan flesh when I combine them. Again, 75%, something like that, of that one.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, when you get to your final highlight, now you only have this little spot to paint in like that. And you can see that I can continue to brighten that skin up to make it more pale. I can shift this, so if I want darker flesh, like what I painted here, on this face, I just don't have this cover 75%. I draw it back and only have it cover maybe 50%, right? And then this color comes and covers 50% here. And then this color 50% here. And then this color just sits on the very end. That's the way I did this. Okay, so you get much darker flesh using the exact same colors. If you want it to be lighter, you pull this color over and have it cover 80 or 90%. Same here, same here, same here. And then you can go even brighter with a highlight that now has more space to sit in. You can imagine a highlight over the top of this doesn't have a lot of space to paint it in on most models. By the time you've done this, you've run out of room. You might be able to put a dot so you have like a sweaty forehead shine or something like that, but you start running out of room. We call it painting yourself into a corner. You've covered each layer, right, with the next subsequent color while doing our blending of 50-50. This is the true colors are tan flesh, shadow flesh, dark flesh. These are the two 50-50 mixes in between. So we wind up getting 5 colors out of that. And now you see, look at this skin tone workup. That right there is beautiful. It'll do just about any color skin right there. That's why when people say, hey, if I was painting African skin tone, how would I make that look? I might start this with black brown instead of dark flesh to get rid of some of the red on that, and then the rest of the colors can stay the same. You just push them back here so they don't cover as much of the black brown. Right?
Jason the paint pad. Yes.
And yeah, glazing helps a ton, but you have to figure out what glaze you want. A lot of times we go back with our mid-tone. So in this case, the mid-tone is the one dead stock in the middle, which is the shadow flesh.
Yeah.
And I can take that, some shadow flesh with moisture on my brush, turn it into a glaze. I don't have a 3D surface here on my hand, obviously, so it's going to be harder to tell. But this, when you go back and glaze the shadow flesh over everything, right, you see how all of a sudden it will start to blur the line of everything, and in this case, lighten up the skin tone altogether, right? So it's a great way to be able, if you get good at glazing, it's a great way to be able to lighten up or darken up, because you could glaze with the darker color and get the same effect, just driving more darkness into it. And now you can also, get rid of some of the blend lines that would show up by glazing. This is a little bit more advanced than this, where you just try to mix your colors and let your colors, even if they band, they're now in such a gradient that the banding doesn't matter. Remember when I painted Thanos and I said we didn't need to blend? This is how you do that. This is how you do that cell shading style stuff. You just make more mixes of color. You're intentionally banding the color, but it still looks like a blend because the colors are so close to one another as they work up from dark to light, and you forget the band. The banding only really comes into play visually as a negative when the contrast between steps of color is too much. You go from too dark of a color to too bright of a color in one step. So just blend the two 50-50 in between each step and you solve your problem. Hope that helps.
Ted Onion says thank you. Black Wolf, this is a great idea.
Not going to do it.
Actually, now hear me out. That would be cool.
Take a mold of a thumb.
Your hand, right? If you took that and then you had, I don't know. I think it's because you do quick examples with your thumb palette, right? So
remember that what Mashik does is he does the color banding specifically to show his value stages, and then he glazes between each band of color. He doesn't glaze over the whole thing. He may, to do color filtering at the end, but he glazes in between each stripe of color to blend them together. We've got the texture trainer that he was doing at one of the shows, right? And if you pop in really close, you'll notice that none of this is blended together except where I went in and did some blending to show people how he does it, right? Here along the shoulder plate, you can see that he does these bands of color to set his value sketch. None of this is blended. This is all individually done, but then he glazes in between them all, which he didn't do anywhere on this. He just prepped it.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance to because also he was talking with a bunch of people at Adepticon.
But this is the way he does it. So he does his value sketch is much less sketchy. It's very specifically placed blocks of color banded on the model, like you can see, with all these stripes, right? Like up on the blade, he's done all those intentional stripes to get his values of where his dark and bright reflections are. And then he goes back with a blend of these two colors and glazes them together. And those two and glazes them and glazes and glazes and glazes and glazes and glazes and glazes until it turns super smooth in between them. So the time on this is spent in that glazing stage where he's going in with a very fine brush and just kind of stitching in a millimeter or two, stitching those two colors together. So this takes a lot more forethought and planning because you have to leave yourself enough of a line and space to glaze it back. The problem that most people have when doing coloring this way, this would be really good if you were just doing the cell-shaded stuff. This looks fantastic in and of itself without any blending, right?
From here, right there.
Yeah, from the 3-foot test, it looks spectacular anyway because your eyes do the blending when the stuff is so finely put together, right? It looks amazing. It's not blended at all. So you can do that. But when you go back to blending it, you just have to make sure to leave yourself enough of each color that you've banded together so when you blend it, you don't lose it all, right? Because you can imagine like some of these really tiny lines. What he's going to do is take that color and glaze over itself so that it blends into the areas next to it. Like that line of gray, the only way to blend that is to use that specific color and blend it out into the neighboring colors. Whereas on these bigger blocks, you would take like a mix of the two or the brighter one and glaze it into the darker one or vice versa, but you're going to push one color to one direction or the other when you do that. So you just have to be careful with leaving yourself enough space to be able to move the colors where they need to go as you do the actual brushstroke of glazing.
No, it's right there, Punisher, right in front of you. That he had done that model at Adepticon. Nothing digital about it. No human should be capable of that sort of blending that, or he's a wizard. Did a deal with the devil. I don't know.
No, he's just very patient.
That's really,
it takes a ton of time to do that.
It's just a lot of steps when you do it that way.
It's crazy because I don't think he ever uses an airbrush.
I don't think for anything. I've never seen one of his posts at all.
For anything, like not to prime or anything. I don't think he's crazy. Mashik is great.
He enjoys it. Plus, he's a very kind man. He's awesome.
Yeah, Mashik is is a famously nice human being. Love the guy.
Mo says, okay, the Monument glass palette. Top is clear. A third of the underside is painted white. A third of it painted black. And the final third is a picture of Jason's hand. That's hilarious.
I'm in.
And when he says he's in, Mo, that means that you have to do it.
Yes.
Just bring it to us, and we'll take it from you. Great idea. Do it, and then bring it here, and then we'll do it. Maybe we should just start pitching that. Like, hey, you want to do this idea? You want this? Do it. Bring it here, and we'll show it off. There you go.
Are you saying we need to become one of those companies that says, do you have a great idea? We'll help you patent it in our name.
And then we steal it.
We'll patent it in our name and give you $5.
That is not us. We are trustworthy. We are helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. That's a Boy Scout motto. That's a Boy Scout motto? That's a Boy Scout motto. Slogan is do a good turn daily, I think. Monument Philip says, Christopher is the best person out there. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Thanks, Philip. That's not what he said. That's what I decided to tell him.
What did he say?
He said that Jason is a good man. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I never believe you when you do the do-da-da-dee-da-dee.
What? It's not really selling it for you?
No.
Christopher is always mean to me, says Philip.
Philip was just minding his own business today, and I walked by and I go, Philip, I'm going to need you to stop.
Oh, and then Monument Philip says, Jason is a good man. He's okay. I don't think he is a good guy. I think he is very nice. Very nice man. Hello. Just so that everybody's aware, it is 3:10 p.m. Monument Standard Time, and welcome in.
Welcome, everybody.
Jason and I and Gabe were off at Nova this last week, so thank you so much for coming back. We're painting up some Blood Angels. I thought we were going to be painting up the Dreadnought.
Oh, here we go.
Today, so that's why it says Dreadnought. So
here we go.
I'm just saying.
Here we go. He told me to bring the Dreadnought,
I was
and
like, hey,
I defied him.
In the chat, I said, bring some dread. Bring over your dread. And I did not
Right after he told
that.
me we had a problem with one of the components in the studio, by the way.
I had to reset the ATEM for some reason. I'm like, problem in the studio.
And then the next thing I hear is, I got it fixed. Bring your dread. I was like, what does this even mean?
And I meant it was Dreadnought. We Dreadnought. Thank you, Avian. That's hilarious. Cannibal says Nova was fun. Nova was a good time.
I had a blast.
We did a lot of talking.
Good to see everybody. I see a bunch of winners.
We did.
Great. Bunch of winning models painted with Monument Hobbies. Ooh, boy.
Oh, my gosh.
We were well represented on the winners circle.
We were, I think, and also all the texture trainers were super cool. You guys can get that Kirin if you weren't one of the 400 first to enter a piece into the Capital Palette. You can get that Kirin right now. I
saw them boxed up in the back.
Yep, we're going to retire the Salamander soon.
End of September,
I've decided. End of September.
Yep, end of September. I give everybody a month. Just to make sure that production can keep up and there's going to be a demand of people wanting them.
Yep.
So end of September. They will cross over for the month of September, and then the Salamander will be gone for the foreseeable future.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. Chuck the Mead Man says, I get the feeling at Monument, Philip and Christopher are struggling with a toxic relationship. Me and Philip? No.
Yeah, 100%.
We're not struggling. We're thriving.
They thrive in toxicity is what Chris is trying to say.
No. Is there a place to see the Capital Palette entries and winners? You can go to their socials.
They're going to post it all because they took great pictures of all of them this year. So,
yep.
It usually takes them a little while to do that, but I know that their team was really working hard to make that more efficient this year. They did a great job, so hopefully we'll get good photos of everything coming up soon.
Yep, I'm going to post the Texture Trainer winners this week once I've got that all. I'll show you guys those pictures. But yeah, we had a good time.
I got to tell you.
What's that?
Really loving these brushes.
So now, just historically, Jason, you use a lot of our synthetics, right? What are your big feel differences on this when you switch to a sable? You personally.
Okay, so this is the exact right type of painting to be doing for me to use a sable on is detail stuff.
Yeah.
Because they do wonders for fine detail where you need to do a nice line with the point of the brush. Typically I'm painting with the side of the brush, to which synthetics excel. And for basing and larger blends and stuff, I prefer the synthetics. But for these and from, painting all those damn bubbles, imagine I drew all these bubbles with a sable, and I don't know that I would have had as much fun doing it with the synthetics. Can you do a super zoom?
Oh, I can super zoom.
Right? So being able to do all of these was just a function of the sable just responding so well, more like a pencil than anything else. I mean, look, I highlighted and based and shadowed and outlined all of those individually, and so it was a lot more fun using something like a sable on them than a synthetic.
Chuck says, speaking of conventions, my cheapo bugs are done. How's your squad? says Chuck.
Cheapo bugs? What
No,
are you talking, my kills team?
You're talking to T. Schmid, Chuck. Oh, I see. Unless you're talking to us, and if you're talking to us as in us, I mean Jason. Jason did finish his Vespids.
Kind of. Not really.
They're pretty good.
I mean, they look good, but they're not done.
Oh, and then T. Schmidt says, I think I worked my list. I have prime nothing. Oh, I see.
They're just having their own conversation over there.
Yeah,
not even paying attention to us.
Sorry, I was just jumping in there like Chuck was,
paying attention to us.
Talking to us. Wow, I take it all back. Chuck, you're a good man. Stay good. But yes, we had a great time. We're going to be painting up some more Blood Angels this week. We decided that we're going to make Jason commit and finish this army. Not entirely on stream.
He's already got a plan for how the Thunderhawk's going to get painted on stream. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we're going to give it our good old college try.
I think there's some good points on that model to be made. As in, how do I start? Where do I start? That's it. That's all I need from that, right? Selfishly. Where do we start with such a large model?
It is a big flyer.
Chuck says, abandoned us for several days and are upset we've formed new relationships. Chuck, I don't know about you and your new relationships and all of your fondoublies or whatever.
Fondoublies?
I say a lot of this stuff just so that I get...
Are these words just flying around in the atmosphere and you just grab them?
Here's a little Easter egg for you, chat. A part of me says a lot of these little words, A, because I'm a wordsmith, and B, because I love it when Jason repeats the word excellently right back to me. Fondubitably? Works every time. But works 60% of the time, every time. Hey, I'm going to zoom in on that little schniblet you did there.
Very sad skull that I just painted. It's very sad. It's very sad.
Actually, it's great.
It's very sad. They're not sculpted very well, so I'm kind of just hit or miss on whether or not I can make it look like a skull. I got some new TV shows I'm watching.
What are you watching?
I don't watch TV shows, but I downloaded a bunch. His Dark Materials.
Okay.
Is really good.
Okay. Tell me more.
It's based on the books. They tried to do a movie called The Golden Compass a while back.
Oh, same.
That was not good.
Yeah, I know that movie.
Yeah, that's the books. Right?
Okay, got it.
But they're doing His Dark Materials as a TV show, and it's been out for a while, I guess. But it's actually really good. I like it.
Mo, I'm assuming you mean The Golden Compass.
The ending is really, really bad. Of The Golden Compass or of the TV series?
Yeah. I never saw The Golden Compass. But I heard I wasn't missing much.
I mean, anything that has armored bears in it, I'm a fan of.
Awkwardish.
But I couldn't watch The Golden Compass.
Awkwardish, I hope Nova was great. Yes, we had a good time. Thank you for asking. A lot of cool people.
Good friends, good hangout time. Got some painting in. Chris got some painting in. Gabe finished models.
I know. Actually, it was
sap.
Christmas,
the heck?
Christmas miracle.
Not supposed to do that. Finish models.
I worked on my Thunder Warriors that
are way too big.
No, dude. They're so good.
They're so
Those
too
are
big.
my leaders. They're my leaders.
No, you handed me a regular dude and he's way too big.
No, Cannibal says, Mo says, stop now and don't waste your life, Jason. I'm trying to help you.
On the TV show?
On His Dark Materials.
Mo, did you think that the rest of it was okay and it just falls dead at the end? What's the deal? Because it's really good so far.
Mo says, no, it was not good. Oh, you met Mo. You said the ending is really, really bad, and you're talking about His Dark Materials. Interesting.
But he has to answer my question. Does he think the rest of it was good and it just let him down at the end? Is that what the deal is?
All right. I just put my Thunder Warriors in there.
I hate this. I hate that everything I pick to watch sucks.
Yes, it falls flat. Well, now he's going to go in with ultra low expectations, Mo. So maybe now it's going to be amazing. That's the problem. Mo says,
sucks.
yeah, till the end it was pretty good.
I wonder if that's just because they rushed him. That sucks.
Flapjack says, everybody talking about how great Nova is really ruining my delusions about how much/little I missed out on. No, I know, Flapjack. No, it was horrible. I'm so, was so glad that you weren't there wasting your time. Is that what you wanted me to say, Flapjack? Does that help?
Don't lie to that man.
I am. I'm trying to help him. Not
it's
feel
an amazing
bad.
show. Where were you?
That's what I meant to say.
Get your adulting done next year and make it a thing.
Yeah. Cannibal says Mr. Sushi failed to finish his models. They are so monochrome. No, they had life in them. What are you talking about? My Thunder Warriors are going to be very cool when they're all on the table.
They're going to die quickly.
No, I don't think so.
Can you give me some focus?
Sure.
Where it focuses better on the table and up here?
How about right there?
Yeah.
I really like that series. I didn't think the end was bad. Interesting.
Edfo, Alien Earth is one of the other ones. It's got some... The further it goes, the further it has some freaking really hard suspension of disbelief happening.
You're planning on being there next year, Flapjack? Okay, cool. Awesome.
I think you'll love it. It's a great show. The best in North America for art specifically. Adepticon, I think, has the equivalence in social painting and stuff as Nova, perhaps better. The social painting area at Nova is not as great as Adepticon. But obviously the competition is better at Nova. Because the open is just, or the capital palette is just too good. Yeah, Alien Earth, I'm digging. It's got some stuff going on that I'm like, the alien is too much of a weird buzzsaw killing machine that doesn't make any sense. The alien's never been that way. So I think that to change that is a little unnerving to me. I want the alien to be more methodical in its kills, and instead it just, kills 50 people all at once in 5 seconds. Doesn't feel very alien, But other than that, I'm enjoying it. I think the story is pretty good so far.
Ted Onion says, when painting at home, do you typically consume media like books / podcasts, etc.?
Yeah, books are my big thing when painting. It helps me just kind of disappear into the world of what I'm doing, and I would put on, like the Horus Heresy or something like that. One of the Horus Heresy books or something, and paint these guys would be great. There are times where I'm just listening to some general fiction, Stephen King books, whatever, fantasy, horror. I'm into more fantastical genres, so I'm always listening to something that is, adjacent to whatever it is I'm painting generally. And I love that.
Wired says, have you watched any of the Foundation series?
I like it, yeah.
Okay.
I have a hard time remembering to go back to it, which speaks volumes.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
That you don't go back?
It's one of those that I probably need to go back and pick up the books and read some.
Okay.
Because it seems fairly far off from what I remember the books being.
Okay.
But, like I said, I don't have a lot of remembrance of them. I read those when I was a kid.
Ballistic, Bailey, those are resin bases that he got from Eldrick's Hobbies.
Yeah, these are called the Slate.
November says, Adepticon's pretty cool to me. Planning to go next year. Do you know if any specific painting classes are worthwhile?
Well, they will announce the instructors here in the next few months.
For Adepticon?
For Adepticon. And then I know they're working on all that. Charity does all of that stuff. And once you get the announcement for the instructors, then I would just look through it and say, what are you looking to pick up? What kind of skills do you think you want to spend time learning at the show? They have great instructors. Same at Nova. Nova's really great for that too.
Snivy, he uses a glass palette, and he just got his from Amazon.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy.
Piece of glass, a tile, ceramic tile could work.
Yeah, they might be $20 or $30. I don't remember.
Is Jason teaching again?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Somebody would have to really push me. I love doing the classes and stuff, but they take so much time and prep for. It's not unheard of that I would teach again. A lot of people have already asked me. Charity's already hit me up and been like, in case you want to teach again. I guess everybody spoke very highly of it.
You were okay.
A lot of people would love to see me back teaching. It is so time consuming.
It is.
It's really hard for me, guys.
It's hard to plan it all out and be efficient with it, right?
Well, yeah.
You're efficient
and I mean, we
with
do
it.
this every day.
Yeah.
And so for me, it winds up taking me out of the environment that I really love to teach in, which is this. Not that any other way is bad. I definitely love being in front of people where I can actually see and feel like I'm reaching. More light bulbs are going off because you can actually see them right in front of you.
It's cool. And it's funny that I would say there was 4 people in your last class that were not from Stream.
Oh, yeah.
Which is cool, right? I love that I was able to get to see everybody's faces.
We had a couple people that were like, it was funny. One of the ladies from our AMA, we did an AMA at Nova.
Yeah.
So it was a live hour and a half session where we did an AMA, and at the beginning of the class, or it's not class, but at the beginning of the session, I said, well, I assume everybody here knows me. Otherwise, why would you have just picked to come hang out with this,
Yeah.
Because we weren't doing anything. We weren't painting. It was just an AMA. It was a live session. People asking me questions, talking to us about Monument, my own personal painting journey, things like that. So I figured everybody in there heard of me. So I asked the question. We got pizza for the group. And while everybody was getting pizza, I said, well, I assume everybody knows who I am, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to see everybody. The next day, this woman came up to me and she goes, last night, she goes, I was really embarrassed because you said that, you assumed everybody knew you, and everybody said, yeah. And he said, it's easier for you to raise your hand if you don't know who I am. And, because I was going to introduce myself to those people who might not know who I was. And of course, nobody raised their hand because like we thought, everybody knew who we were, except her. She was embarrassed. She didn't raise her hand. She goes, I have to admit, I didn't know anything about you. And I was like, well, that's awesome. Thank you for coming to a thing to listen to me talk. You didn't even know who I was.
Well, she was just probably curious because it was labeled talking the hobby and industry questions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you said was pretty cool. I mean, for people who don't. Awkwardish says, in quotes, who's from Stream? Don't trust any of them. Jason 2025.
That was also true. Don't listen to any of these people. They can't be trusted. They think we're cool.
I liked how I was able to give you guys crap in real time. That was my favorite part about the class.
Which he did.
And I love all of you. Just enough to treat you
prison
like
kind of love, but
treat you like my brother and sister.
Prison love.
Brothers and sisters of the hobby. Yeah. I was glad to see everybody. But yeah, we will be at both of those shows next year. We have some big plans coming for shows.
Got to paint his halo, whatever.
His halo?
I've been painting that strip around the helmet on some of these guys. I forgot to paint that guy.
TK421 says, I'm glad I wasn't there having to pretend publicly Chris is funny. Hey.
Oh, right?
Hey,
so
whoa.
hard.
Hey, no.
It's hard. It's easy to do it on the internet when you have the anonymity of the keyboard. When you're in front of him and you have to be like, ha, 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 ha. Chris, you're the greatest.
What? What is that? I can't fight back today, chat.
I don't have it in me.
I don't.
Because he ate lunch. This lunch was filling too, because it was that's the one thing about that burger joint.
Yeah. T-Schmidt, I love you enough to feel comfortable with verbal abuse. Christopher Sushi Man. That's me. Verbal abuse.
Ageism. Elder abuse.
No, I don't do that. I'm making that very clear. There's no elder abuse. Cannibal says, I definitely messed with Mr. Sushi at Nova, mixed up his texture. Yeah, you did. You messed up my texture paste tubes.
What do you do?
Cannibal was testing some of them, right? And squeezed some of it a little too much, and some of it came out. A lot. Not a lot. Enough to make me furious in a joking way. And I had to put the rest on my palette. But you know what, Cannibal? To your beautiful mishap came beautiful example, because I was able to show several people what Red Earth looks like on the palette. So thank you. Oh,
that's right.
I take it all back. Campbell says, my feedback was they should be screw caps instead of flip tops. No, I don't think you just squeeze them from the bottom. That's just what you did. Just don't squeeze them while they're closed. That's my science brain talking, but no, because then there's too much opportunity to do them like a toothpaste ad, and we will not have that. That's why we decided to make them flip tops.
Oh, this is also true.
They should have no chance of opening. Not when you're squeezing them. I stand by our science. November says, Monument, can you recommend which of the texture tubes makes the best toothpaste? 0 of them.
Here we go.
I would not recommend putting our texture paste on your teeth. Wad makes a good point. A lot of toothpaste is flip tops, and they are screw tops too, tomato.
I mean, my toothpaste tube is exactly like our texture tubes.
Okay.
Like, it's exactly the same.
You know what's so funny? I started looking at a lot of people's toothpaste, and by a lot of people, just online. I'm like, what's the majority? And a lot of use flip tops, and a lot of use screw-ons. All the grit makes your teeth shine. No, it doesn't, Mo. For legal purposes, please do not put any of the texture tubing material on your toothbrush or in your mouth.
Most of it is all natural components.
It is. Yeah, that's not the way you phrase what you just said, though.
Oh, no?
Because you're just like, well, all of it's all natural.
Most of it's all natural, except for the stuff that'll kill you.
Technically. A lot of things are technically
it's all non-toxic.
All natural.
It's all non-toxic. Everything's all natural.
Don't even get us started about our grocery industry. Everything's organic and all natural.
All natural flavors.
All natural
Other
flavors.
natural flavors.
Including 15 different kinds of bugs.
Hey. Don't knock it until you try it, man.
I need a bug.
Cricket flour's good.
I actually did
cricket flour
have
pancakes.
I did have one of my friends back in the day who was super into bug eating, like the gourmet side of bug eating, gave me some cricket seasoning, and it wasn't half bad. Welcome in, everybody. It's 3:33 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're paying some Blood Angels.
Monument Standard Time. He never knows.
And by we, I mean Jason. And by Jason, I mean us, the people. Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
How are you feeling today about your Blood Angel progress?
Pretty
kind
good.
of bring us all up to speed on what you're doing with the army.
Painting it.
Now, if I was to ask again, what are you doing with the army? What would you say?
Right now, or just in general?
Yes.
Right now, I'm finishing the non-metallic steel or metal of some sort that we decided to color this kind of steel color on the shoulder plates.
You're going for steel, though, not silver, correct?
I don't know, whatever. I didn't go into it with an idea of like what metal it would be.
A cold metal, a cooler metal.
Yeah, just something to offset the red, right? And We're doing gold on a lot of the army, which is also very warm. And while there's not a problem with that, it looks really good against the red, right? I thought that the steel trim would give us the ability to have, you know, something that not only set apart different units, but also a different way that the red could be construed across the battlefield. Because anytime you're doing Space Marines in general, any army, I guess, where it's all armor of a similar color, so you name it, any of, even the Imperial Guard, right? If they don't have a lot of armor, but they just have a lot of cloth that's the same color. Anytime it's a vibrant color like red, the army tends to get visually boring very quickly, right?
You mean as a whole?
As a whole, it tends to get very boring quickly if you repeat the color scheme on everything. Because the vibrancy of it, just like my brain tends to want to just tune out at some point. And so for me to change it up like this, I think is really good. There'll be some other ones where I'll do, like on some of the veteran troops, I'll paint the shoulder plate black, right? So I might do gold trim on them, but the inside black, and then the instead of doing black on the Blood Angels logo, I'll do it like white or red or something like that to offset it. So I'll just change up unit to unit and have some fun with it as we go. Keeps it means that I will have to spend more time as we go through the army breaking up the assembly line method of painting and do one squad away. Like right now I'm doing one squad of 10 with the silver shoulder plates, as opposed to just being able to go through 50 dudes. And kind of what we talked about with the red is you could do the red on 50 dudes. But then when you get to like the details might want to change just so you break that repetition. I think you can get away with a little bit more repetition the more desaturated and darker an army becomes. Because the details are what pull the contrast out and really give you something to look at anyway. So sometimes you can do, like, if you're doing Black Legion, you could do gold on the whole army, and you could do all black and gold, and it probably wouldn't become as kind of boring across the whole thing. But for red, for me, yellow Imperial Fists, red, white armies, things like that tend to really bore me if the whole thing is the same color scheme.
That makes sense.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Kind of using this as a way to show my thought process as I go through an army with stuff like that. Like, oh, you know, I need to break this up, monotony for visual, and also just for my own sanity. Because there's a world where I don't want to paint non-metallic gold on 60 dudes.
Yeah, that's tough.
And so breaking this up and having it not be specific for any kind of rivet counting reason. It's not like just, you know, the normal dudes or just the veterans would have it. That was my idea originally, is that I would just have the veterans have gold on them because most of the army is veterans. But I missed that opportunity because I painted some of the normal schleps with gold as well. So now I'm just free to change it up as I want. And I like that. I like being able to have some variation in the army. I think it's going to look really good on the table. This silver with the red looks really, really good. It looks a little too word bearers to me. This is how I was painting my word bearers originally. Like this exact color scheme. Well, the red was darker, but with the silver plating on it as the trim. And so right now in my head, it's like, these aren't word bearers. But I'll get over it.
You'll get over it.
I'll get over it. It's not.
I'll get over it.
It's not a big deal. They have Blood Angel symbols on them.
Jason's also painting some bigger models too in the unit. He's painting the Dreadnought and the Thunderhawk and all of that.
Yeah, I've got two of the Incendious Dreadnoughts, the jump pack dreads.
Oh yeah.
Right.
He's fun looking.
This is the actual Incendious model, top to bottom.
Wow, that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, the gilding all over him, so he's got a lot of gold trim.
It's not too much gold, actually, stuff. Now that I look at that.
And then I took, for the other one, I have two Incendious kits, but I didn't want them to look the same, so
nice.
I also have a Blood Angels Forge World Dreadnought that all the knees and stuff are different.
Oh, look at
those. Yeah, so it has like the facial crest on it and the different chest plate and the different shoulders.
Wow, those knees are cool.
So I was able to take it and then just put the Incendious Dreadnought pack and claws on him. So this keeps both of them looking different. And I might do him in all silver, you know, and the other one on all gold, something like that, just to break it up. So we'll see.
Those knee pads?
Yeah, the one with the face is really bitching, right?
That's cool.
As I was putting him together, I was like, wow, they really skimped on the special one. The regular Contemptor has really, really cool stuff. The Incendious, which is like a lot more expensive and is the special unit one, its stuff is kind of bland. So, you know, kind of funny.
That's super cool.
So yeah, being able to do a little bit of, I guess you call that kit bashing, but again, for me, personality is everything. And in an army where everybody wears the same armor and the same helmet and is the same, right? They're all clones, basically. It's like painting stormtroopers, right? It's like, how do you give them life? Well, you got to step outside the actual story of them to some extent. Or you can lean into it. You can lean into the fact that, they're all identical, and that's really cool. So that's one of the reasons why I really love Space Marines. You could give them all, you could spend the time to kit bash them all and give them all, various accoutrements, grenade harnesses and crazy stuff to do whatever you want to with them. I'm doing it in color.
November. This is, can you remind us the pink trout recipe used on these? And it's the eclectic salmon.
No, it is now forever pink trout.
But now November, I know what you were genuinely saying there, and I just love that what's this pink trout recipe you got going on?
I am totally backing. I am 100% behind pink trout. That is so much better than eclectic salmon. When we actually make the color, I'm gonna call it pink trout. As write that down, because I want pink trout to now be the Easter egg name on it.
Oh no,
that's gonna be so good.
Pink trout. Pink trout.
It is awesome. It is our orange red.
Okay.
With warm flesh mixed in. And it is about, I'm going to throw out there that it's 70-30, 70% orange red, 30% warm flesh. The warm flesh has a huge impact on the red.
Pink trout. Jason's pink trout. There you go. I don't know about that.
That sounds like an innuendo that we probably don't want on the bottle, but I really love pink trout.
It's pink trout. It's a pink trout.
AKA pink trout.
It's a pink trout.
But it's really simple. Before it was pyro red with our orange and then the warm flesh. But when we came out with orange red, now you can pretty much just use the orange red by itself. So I go on the red itself, I go from Payne's gray to dark plum to pyro red to orange red, and then the eclectic salmon or pink trout, where it's the orange red with the warm flesh.
Pink trout's great. Fresh sashimi.
You gotta go to OnlyFans for Jason's pink trout.
No. Fresh sashimi.
That's hard to say real fast. Say that 10 times. Fresh sashimi.
Fresh sashimi. I can't. I won't. This is the best day of your life. November. Great call. So we are going to get this specialist range of fish. Yes. Yes, you are.
Fish.
Wow.
I'm going to need one for our first frameable texture trainer.
What's that?
The fish knight.
Oh, that's true.
I'm going to need a way to...
What's that fish's name?
We don't have a name for them yet. That's part of the thing that before release, I got to give them names.
I guess...
I got the sculpt. I got the initial sculpt for the lady.
Oh.
Back today. I have not had a time to go over and review it. I might do that tonight or tomorrow. So there'll be a lot going. I've got a lot going on. Holy crap!
And Anna says, I'm working on a Drakari kill team. Payne's gray into magenta for the armor and Payne's gray into green oxide for the cloth.
Nice.
I'm struggling with a type of metal that will look good. Any thoughts?
Payne's gray.
I don't know what a Drakari kill team is.
So Drakari are dark Eldar.
Dark Eldar. Okay.
Right.
Ooh, Payne's gray into magenta?
Steel for that combo would be what I'm doing right now would be great. Did you say non-metallic or metallics?
Right now, Anna Stark is thinking Payne's gray into magenta for the armor and Payne's gray into green oxide for the cloth.
Both of those, I love the idea of a silver steel kind of a color.
Oh, Anna's doing non-metallic metal.
I think what I'm doing here would be great. You've already got the Payne's gray base, so using the Payne's gray into white, blue, or pale yellow, or whichever you like better, it would be great.
And you could darken it down, maybe?
Yeah.
If it's too bright with Payne's gray wash?
Yeah, you could. There's no reason why a bronzy gold wouldn't work as well.
A bronzy gold.
Yeah, because magenta and green both. I mean, you're talking about a color palette with, basically muted reds and greens that I think works either way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But initially, the punch of something that moves to a near white sounds really neat next to the magenta and the green, as opposed to the gold and the yellows.
Rattlecast says, call him the creature from the Payne's Gray Lagoon.
Hey,
like
you
that.
shush.
I like that.
We won't want to predispose anybody to what colors they have to use.
The Payne's Gray Lagoon.
Payne's Gray already sells out. We need to call him one of the colors that doesn't sell as much.
It's the pink trout color.
That's the problem. Like, all of our colors sell so well.
That's true.
There's not a bad one.
I was just about to say, I'm not really sure if that's a thing. Because when you emphasize a color, then it gets like, oh, then it gets more emphasized. Anna says, steel it is. The color palette is coming out desaturated and leans well into my emo space pirate vibe.
I love it.
Now,
emo
Jason,
space pirates.
You love pirates.
I am not a fan of pirates.
You're not a fan? Well, no one is technically a fan of maritime intrusory. Is that what it's called?
That's exactly what they called it back in the day.
We don't like pirates. Pirates are cool, but you don't like the pirate aesthetic.
I don't really like the pirate aesthetic. I don't find myself drawn to it. I can't specifically say I don't like it. I don't find myself drawn to it.
So, like, Vampires of the Coast do not do it for you at all?
No.
Oh, no. Interesting.
No, as a matter of fact, like in War Machine, one of my favorite factions was trolls, but some of the trolls were very pirate oriented.
I was just about to say they're all pirates, aren't they?
In the new Warhammer or in the new War Machine, they're all pirates.
Oh, you're not a pirate guy.
And I'm not a pirate guy.
Arr.
Just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There you go.
Just doesn't do it. Not something I care for. I don't hate them. But it's not something I've ever really stuck into. I say that until Blood and Plunder. Like when we were working with the guys from Firelock, the Blood and Plunder stuff I really like because
very cool.
It's like historical pirate and not pirate brought forward into like anime or, some more modern themed piracy. So I kind of dug that. I like the idea of, the game and the Caribbean pirate coast kind of a thing. I still wouldn't have played the pirates. I would have played like the British, or whoever was trying to kill the pirates.
I know. Panic Bomb, I was just about to say it's weird that Jason doesn't like pirates because he is the captain of the ship. And the ship must have a captain. Somebody must captain the Dutchman.
No, it's not the Dutchman. That's the thing.
I'm the Dutchman. You are the captain.
No.
That's technically what I've been saying for a long time. But
so
you are the captain.
I learned something about Pirates of the Caribbean that I did not know.
Okay.
Reading an article about how Disney had left some stuff on the cutting room floor that would really have helped tell the story.
Of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, the Dutchman in particular.
Okay.
The Dutchman, turns out that it was black, right?
Okay, but they did that with the Black Pearl?
The Black Pearl, I'm sorry, the Black Pearl.
Black Pearl, okay.
I'm talking about the Black Pearl, not the Dutchman.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking about the Black Pearl and why it was black. That as a ship...
Oh,
it was given to the captain, who Johnny Depp played.
Yes.
It was his ship. But then at one point in time, he was asked to take slaves.
Yes.
And he said he took the slaves, but he wouldn't deliver them. He unchained them and gave them their freedom.
Well, that's what happened with Davy Jones.
Right.
Yes,
right.
that's
so
the original story.
Correct. He unchained him and everything, and so they caught wind of this, and they burned his ship to the ground, which is why the Black Pearl became black, because it got burned and sunk.
I heard about that.
And he made the pact with Davy Jones to give him the ship back.
Yeah.
And Davy Jones raised it up and gave it to him.
And they did not talk about that.
And they didn't talk about any of that. And it was interesting whether it was because of the touchiness of the slave trade or whatever it might have been that would have been in there. Sense. But when I heard that and I read about it, I was like, wow, that's kind of eye-opening. That makes a lot of sense as to why the relationship between the two of them was strained. He had asked for this favor. It had been burdened by this whole story. It was
vague, which was
it was very vague. It didn't really have a start to it.
Huh. He was labeled a pirate because of the theft of the slaves.
Right,
oh,
right. That's right. Because he technically stole the slaves by not delivering them, because he said that no man was cargo.
Oh, interesting.
And they burned his ship to the ground.
Wow.
And then he entered into the pact with Davy Jones.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah. You're right.
No.
Yeah, I just thought that was
cargo.
really interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish that would have stayed in there. That would have made that. I already liked the movie, but that would have made it a lot.
Better. Those movies hold. Those movies for me hold pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
They're pretty good. They're fun. I don't really say that about a whole lot of Disney movies because I am not really a fan of most of the Disney movies, but those ones did really well. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but...
Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought Jack Sparrow was really great. That was peak Pirates. Johnny Depp, right?
Yes. I think... yes, 100%. Plus, like, the Davy Jones story was cool, and... Yeah, interesting. The Flying Dutch Oven. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The Billy Bob, yes. The Flying Dutch Oven. No, Anna, Chris, you and I can't be friends if you include the animated movies in that dislike. It depends. I'm not. They're fun.
Which ones?
I don't know because I'm just
classic Disney. I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
Later Disney wasn't made for me and wasn't really released to me. So like things like Frozen are unknown to me. I don't care for them. I don't care about them. So I don't know. I wouldn't say they're bad. They just aren't something that I've ever looked at. You know.
Yeah. That's kind of my verbiage with it too. I just never really. Oh gosh, I don't even remember which last animated. I did see Frozen because at the time everybody was seeing Frozen. So, but I don't.
I never saw it. My nephew around that time was watching, mostly the Pixar stuff.
Yes, Tadpole Jackson. Yes, he was singing "Let It Go" at the beginning of stream.
I did,
which brings us full circle.
There you go. And with that, we're out. And with that, Chet, we're out. Thanks for joining us.
No, he was not singing Frozen. He was singing "Left in the Freezer Overnight" by a different company. No free pub.
No free pub for Disney.
They're fine. They're doing just fine.
They should sponsor the show. And then you would get like a reasonable facsimile of me.
And then
they would rewrite my whole story.
You could do whole like show tunes. Let's just have you sing all the Disney princess songs.
I think we just need to change the monument logo to the non-trademarked Mickey Mouse.
There you go. Might as well. Let's do it.
The loopy arm Mickey Mouse. We'll just change the Monument Hobbies logo to that.
Oh, that's funny. Anna says, up until the early 2000s, I get fuzzy after that. Yeah, that's true. Now, see, Anna, I could totally relate to that. I was the same thing for me. It just stopped. That's it. Wasn't aimed at me, right?
That's the thing, right?
Most of those are aimed
I didn't
a
have kids, so
yes.
it was lost on me. My nephew, like I said, when I was babysitting my nephew or staying with my nephew, I had an opportunity to watch some stuff. Most of it was Pixar. So
Pixar, yes.
It's Disney Pixar, right?
Uh-huh.
Now they got bought eventually?
I think so.
Because they were the non-Disney animation side originally, weren't they?
Pixar, yes.
They were started by one of the Disney execs, right? Geffen and those guys, wasn't it? I don't remember Pixar's whole story, but... Or I'm thinking DreamWorks.
No, they didn't make that. They acquired it in 2006.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was thinking. So for me, it was all like Cars and, whatever else was in the Pixar lineup. Toy Story?
Yeah. Now, I would say
the need for like kid animation for me, because that was the babysitter tool.
Yeah, the original Toy Story and those kinds of things, those do speak to me.
Well,
Let me
amazing.
rephrase that. Like Aladdin,
They're
like
amazing.
the OG Aladdin. I can't tell you how many times I quote that
I've
to
never
people.
seen it.
Oh man, it's just peak Robin Williams fun for me, right?
Yeah, I've never seen it. So,
Cannibal says, officially just finished modifying my frameable.
awesome. Modifying. What'd you do?
Because you won, right? You're the crone. The crone that you did.
We gave out 3
Yeah.
of the framables to the Texture Trainer winners at Nova.
Yep.
Cannibal has one.
Cannibal did a great job.
That was beautiful.
Oh, you did it for your OSL challenge. Nice. Jason,
Sorry,
September is the OSL, doing OSL. We haven't done that in a long, long time.
Awesome.
And September is all about doing OSL.
I love it.
And to speak to that, Jason and I will decide whether we do the review for August challenge Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you know.
My silver guys are done.
Nice. Oh, Cannibal, you drilled, pinned, and milliputted. Now, I could assume what you might be doing. I'm curious if you're doing like an anglerfish light.
He's perfect for that, but it wouldn't cast. So we didn't, and the artwork wasn't that way.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm curious if that's what you're kit bashing.
I didn't want an anglerfish because I knew that mechanically it wouldn't work in a mold.
Just the whoop.
But he has the look, right? So he could very well be Sir Angler with the thing out in the front. The face is perfect for it, but it would not have cast. So
it is official OSL for September Rattlecan. That is the challenge. I posted all of the information last night. So I set that challenge up because I wanted to start
really
it.
Good.
Wanted to start it on the 1st. So if you haven't already, go check out that.
Really fast Wish.com non-metallic metal steel, and I really like how that turned out.
I like how it did. How you feel about it?
Good. It's sketchy, but it works really well from a contrast perspective on top of the red.
Look at from that distance, right?
Yeah, I mean, do a punch in close up, and I'll show you what the reality is, right?
Yeah. So
you can see this is not anything that couldn't be done by any of you out there, right? It's really just edge highlighting at a very bright level over that mid-tone. It's the Payne's Gray and the white blue, and taking the white blue and mixing it in twice with the Payne's Gray. So pure Payne's Gray base, the white blue, Payne's Gray about, call it 80-20. Payne's Gray to white blue, so you just get a slightly lighter version of Payne's Gray. Then you do your first swap with that. Then you do 50-50 white blue Payne's Gray, and you mark where you want your highlights to go, and then you just edge highlight it with the white blue pure. So it's making that jump to the pure white blue that really sells it as, like a shiny looking metal, right? So that's all it is. It's super fast, super sketchy, not any glazing really. It's my standard, the first layer needs to be kind of thin to go on smooth, but there's nothing special about it. It's just meant to provide that 3-foot level contrast, but look really good. So again, you can cut a few corners. I didn't put as many layers of color on it. We could do a wash over it, like you hear Chris say every now and then if I want it to be darker, but I really like the contrast it provides on the red right here.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, it gives us a neat kind of bright gray blue feeling.
Last question before we go. What's the difference between the Dauntless brushes and the Pro Synthetics?
Really just lifespan. The Dauntless are made in a way that allows us to keep them very affordable. And so you might find that they are, not going to last near as long as the Pro Synthetics under the exact same person's painting. Although, like, I've been using them and I've been able to get nearly 18 months out of a brush. So, your mileage may vary. Frigid Phoenix, what are 4 of your favorite colors out of the ProAcryl paints? That's so unfair to ask.
That's a big one.
Because I do all of our development, all of our product development, including the color development, it's really tough for me because all of these colors are colors that I use a ton. Now, if you ask which ones get used the most, it's going to be colors like dark purple, Payne's gray, white blue, yellow ochre, things like that, because they're colors that I mix in and use in just about everything I paint. Whereas, you know, they're not colors that you might see on every model. They're colors I've used on every model, kind of a thing.
Nice.
But that you'll find as you paint more, you'll find those colors that you're not gravitating to because they are colors you want to see all the time. You gravitate to them because Payne's gray is such a great shadow color. So Payne's gray goes on every model. Dark purple, great shadow color, goes on every model. White blue, a perfect tint highlight tone, so I can add it into all sorts of other colors to brighten them up. Pale yellow is the same way. You know, there's these utility colors that on their own are also great colors, but I don't paint a lot of models just Payne's gray,
right?
Because dark color,
yep.
Right? I don't paint a lot of models pale yellow, but it's a great highlight color, and so you find those utility colors throughout the line that just work so well for bringing shadows and highlights into things. But that's a really tough question because I use all of our colors pretty much equally.
You're very welcome, TK. That's why we do it. We are happy.
You needed 4 to order a box. Oh, there you go. You gonna come by the shop and pick them up, Frigid? That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know when you're here.
And we have all the colors here at the shop too, so you can order and then pick it up for pickup. You can also just come in and buy stuff. There's a little entry foyer that has the full paint rack with all the colors on it that you can look and hold them in your hand and determine there. So if you don't want to have to pick on the website, you can just come in and play in the little store. Thank you, Frigid. Are more Killjoy says, are more colors coming out? Yeah, we have 147 colors now. The line will end presumably at 196. So I've got 49 colors. Is that right? 49 colors? Yeah. No. Yeah, 49 colors left. Something like that.
Yep, you guys can always come and visit.
We got a lot to play with.
Nice.
Yeah, Maze is not too far, unless a haboob rears her head. I think we had our big one, last week? Right before we left. That freaking thing was scary.
Yeah, we did.
Awesome, Frigid. Payne's Gray Primer win. I haven't made a Payne's Gray Primer. It's not hard, but I think with dark purple it solves most of the problems.
You could also just, put it over black Ted onions.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like, the dark purple is something that I use enough as a base personally that I think it works really well as a starting primer for things, especially stuff that like Vikings, anything with a lot of flesh tones. I can see doing it for Space Marines. I can see doing it for like Stormcast Eternals, something where the purple underglow on the armor works really well. So there's a lot of reasons why you could do the purple. Yeah. The Payne's Gray has similar situations, but I think in Payne's Gray's situation, I'm always going to prime black first, right?
Yeah.
The Payne's Gray on its own, it's pretty dark. The Payne's Gray in our expert line, if I could do that darkness as a primer, would be pretty good. I would almost question if people wouldn't see a need for it because it's so close to black at that point. So I don't know. I'll think about it. The purple has a lot of coloring to it that makes sense why you would do that as opposed to black. The Payne's Gray, not so much. Like Chris said, I do black and then Payne's Gray. Do you have an official distributor up there in Canada? We do. We have lots of stores in Canada. You can go on our U.S. site in the store locator and find stores all over Canada that sell our stuff for sure. And we are opening up a Canadian office soon as well. That's in the midst of happening right now. We've got the attorneys paid and directed, and they're just sending in all of the corporate documents right now for us to sign. So as soon as all that's set up and we have a company, we'll be in incorporation in Canada and Ontario. And we'll be slowly through the end of the year building the ability to distribute from ourselves. So we'll have a Monument Hobbies Canada website for you where you can order specifically from us and our employees up there and everything. So same, we just did that in Europe. We're doing it in Canada. We're going to do it in the UK. We're going to do it in Australia. So Australia, New Zealand. So you'll have Monument people you can deal with worldwide. Worldwide.
It's pretty crazy.
Isn't it crazy? It is.
We are so lucky that we have you guys to support us along the journey, and that's the only reason why.
Sugar Rush says, are they going to be French also? Believe it or not, our French office is run by Brits.
What?
Expat Brits in Britannia area of France run our French office. So no, we employ no French.
We employ no French. Not yet.
We will have to. Yeah.
We are coming after the world.
We will have to.
In a good way.
Why 196 specifically? That's what fits into Go Bag Evos and how we've designed our retail rack.
Isn't it? It's funny how that kind of has to math up, when you actually start talking about the logistics of that, right? Because,
well, yeah, you never thought, as I created the line, I never thought about the restrictions of a retail rack and how much you could put in it, right? And then with all the other products, so 196 fits nicely on the retail rack, and then it's 2 Evo bags full. So you figure you can tote 2 Evo bags if you want to take your entire collection with you.
If you're that serious, good on you.
I saw somebody at Nova that had both.
Yeah, I did.
Had 2 with all their paints.
Yep.
But why not 3 Go bags and an extra rack? Well, that comes when I decide I want to make paint number 197. We'll see.
How can you
buy a retail rack? We might actually have a few retail racks, like a handful of them that we can sell coming up in October. They'll be the old style. They won't hold as many.
Right.
And we haven't decided if that's the case or not. Shipping them to you would be I don't think anybody wants to pay for those. Even if I just charge them half price of what it costs me to manufacture, it's going to be expensive. So.
Yep.
The new retail rack is really cool. It's like 6.5 feet tall, 4 feet wide. It's a big monster, and it's going to be really neat in the stores. So I'm excited to have all the stores get those.
Dark neutral
pink tuna. Wait, it was pink. It was pink trout.
Yeah.
Not tuna. What are you going to do after the whole line is released? Ballistic Bailey asks.
The world comes to an end.
That's when the sun burns out.
Right? That's what we've been basing our science off of.
You see all those post-apocalyptic movies and games?
Actually, that was kind of cool that you think there's any time after.
You wanted to know what the catalyst was?
What's that?
Last ProAcryl color. They never talk about it. They talk about some comet flew by.
So actually, we're doing you a favor by not... we have to release
Holocaust.
These.
Well, nukes only dropped because we didn't release any more colors. I'm sorry.
No, Tim, it is no longer called Eclectic Salmon.
It's called pink trout.
Pink trout. That was fun in November.
The desktop retail rack that only holds 1 paint for number 197. Yeah, it's like this big flamboyant thing with like 1 paint thing on it.
Well, maybe that's because you need more paints, Cannibal.
The last seal is broken. Yeah, it's like the 7th sign.
Yeah, we can't do it. We can't release the last one because then we're like, well, see you later, Earth.
Yeah. No, real question, though, for what happens with last paint. That's why we're developing other products like our texture trainers and ways to reach out and get more people enjoying painting miniatures other than just gamers, right?
Yep.
Because, it's funny because we sit around and we talk about what happens when the last color's released. Obviously, there's some things we talked about that in the AMA at Nova. Obviously, there's a lot of other things we can be doing with color. A lot of people have asked when we're coming out with a speed paint line. We're working on something like that. We don't have anything we're comfortable with right now, but I've been honest on stream saying if we come out with something that I would use, we'll release it. So there's a whole world open to us to do other stuff. I won't do like airbrush paints, and I won't do like stuff that I don't think is necessary. But yeah, edible paints, Matt, that's coming for sure.
Edible paints.
That one just wasn't. I thought he would be more prepared.
No,
Chad.
I was thinking when you said it, I thought about it. Obviously, we're not doing that.
Is another set imminent?
Are we?
Probably not before Adepticon. I don't think. I'll have to play around and see. He said it, folks. That's legally binding.
No, game delay. You out there? Help. We got lawyers on this.
McRib Brown.
What? McRib Brown.
McRib Brown. I hope you stock at 195 and then a decade later release the final worst, most gloppy and chalky white in a flip-top bottle. That would be great, wouldn't it?
No.
Why
the
not?
last color is going to be the one that brings the world to an end. It's going to be so good. Okay, Okran said something. It was, where is it? The...
Okran up there. It says Whelp. The last paint name has to be Wizard's Asteroid.
That's what I say, yep.
I love it.
Technically, it was McRib Red. Gross.
Wizard's Asteroid. We'll just call it, it'll be a real crappy white, and it'll be called Full Circle White.
Never forget. Oh, wow.
Hashtag never forget. All right, gang, we're out of here. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Tons of fun today. Hope you enjoyed the painting. We got some really good quick non-metallic steel done on our first squad. We'll be going back to golds. We'll probably, to make Chris have to do the same title tomorrow, we'll do the Dreadnought.
We'll do the Dreadnought.
Or maybe we won't.
I thought we would. Hey, I thought we would.
I'll bait him into another Dreadnought title, and then I'll paint something else.
I thought we were going to do Dreadnought.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, you're welcome, November. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. It was really great to be able to meet so many people at Nova who said they got a lot out of the stream and the tutorials. That's always a really big boost for us. We appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for spending your time with us. Remember, we do this Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona. So hit that follow button if you're over on Twitch, or the subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. We stream live to both platforms simultaneously, and then it goes on the live tab on YouTube afterwards, so you can go back and catch up on things you missed, catch up on old days, or go back and review something if we painted something that you really wanted to remember that color scheme and all that stuff. It's all over there in the archives. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. Make sure to check all the links that Chris put up there, and stick around for a raid. We're going to go find some more hobby goodness to take you off to into the evening. Show some love in the chat we wind up in, and we'll see you again back here tomorrow. Adios, gang.